Releasing admissions decisions this week. It is an intense time for high school seniors everywhere, but even rejections don't have to mean it's all over. Here with advice for seniors and their parents on what to do with those rejection and waitlist letters is IvyWise CEO Katherine Cohen. Kat, thanks so much for being with us. Such a stressful time. Do we have a picture yet? I know admissions are just trickling out. A picture yet of what the class of 2019 looks like in terms of its competitiveness?
Well, what we've seen is it's as competitive as last year or slightly more competitive. And some numbers, so for example, last year's admit rate for Harvard was 5.9%, this year 5.3%. For Vanderbilt, last year was 12.5%, this year 11%. Wow. Brown last year 8.6%, this year 8.5%. So we're just seeing those numbers like slightly go down. So it's getting slightly tougher.
And how much of that has to do with more students applying to multiple schools?
Well, more students are applying to multiple schools because it's easier to do with a common application, and with a touch of a button, you can send out more applications. Right. And, because it's uncertain, I think students are just sending out more applications, although we advise students to stick to 10 to 15 schools.
That's good. Now, what should you do if you don't get into any of the schools you really wanted?
So if you have been rejected at some schools, you don't want to dwell on it. You have to process the information. But admissions officers always say that they could create a perfectly great class from the deny pile. So try not to take it too personally. And hopefully you have created a balanced list. So you have some other good fit schools on your list. And you want to get excited about the schools that have admitted you.
Right.
Go back to your research. Visit some of those schools. But let's say you got rejected from all of your schools. Let's say you didn't do your research.
Worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario. Or you don't want to go to any of the schools that have admitted you. There are some things you can do, and we have advised students in the past to take a gap year. So maybe you do an internship, or maybe you do some hands-on science research, and you've got then more time to put together a better balanced list.
And will those same schools look at you then with totally fresh eyes?
They will.
Oh,
you could reapply the next year, and hopefully you could enhance your profile. You could retake tests and make yourself a better applicant at that.
And how successful is the strategy of transferring, planning to go to one of your, less favorite schools for a year and try to transfer out?
Exactly. So let's say you have been rejected from that top choice school, but you still are dreaming about it. You can try to transfer. You could choose to go to one of the other schools that has admitted you, and you want to do as well as you can at that school, and then you can try to transfer. But transfer rates are often low. So, for example, last year at Brown's overall admit rate, I just said, was 8.6%, but their transfer admit rate was 4.9%. Dartmouth overall was 11.5%, but transferring 2.7%.
So it's harder to transfer in some cases than get in the first place.
Yes.
And quickly, what can you do if you're on the wait list? Do these wait lists move? Are they ranked?
So there are things that you can do if you're waitlisted. The first thing that you should do, and schools are waitlisting kids rampantly, so you want to make sure that the school knows that you want to stay on the wait list, write them a letter. If it's your top choice school, let them know. Let them know that you'll come. After May 1st, they're going to go to those wait lists, so you want to tell them, I will definitely attend if you take me from the wait list. Update them on everything you've been doing since you applied, any new grades, any new projects, and explain why it's the best fit for you. But that being said, waitlist admit rates are still low, so you have to think about that.
Got to be realistic in all of this. Kat Cohen, thank you so much for that.